Have you ever driven down a perfectly straight road, the kind that seems harmless under the sun, only to feel an inexplicable chill as dusk falls? In Hai Dong, Vietnam, there's one such crossroads that locals call the intersection of death. Why would a flat, unobstructed stretch of highway become a graveyard for the unwary? And what role does an ancient mulberry tree standing sentinel like a silent judge play in this macabre tale? Buckle up, because tonight we're diving into the heart-pounding story of the Bic Nhoi mulberry tree, a legend that blends folklore, tragedy, and the supernatural, leaving even the bravest souls glancing over their shoulders. It all begins in the quiet town of Minh Tan in Kinh Mon District, Hai Duong Province. The intersection at Hoang Thác is deceptively simple, a four-way junction where roads converge like veins in a body. To the untrained eye, it's just another stretch of asphalt flanked by rice fields and modest homes, but at its center stands the Bic Nhoi mulberry tree, a colossal giant with branches sprawling like twisted arms, its trunk weathered by centuries of storms and secrets. This tree isn't just flora. To the villagers, it's a living entity, guarded by a spirit of the mulberry that's both protector and punisher. The tree's roots run deep into the soil and into the local lore. For generations, residents have whispered that the mulberry harbors a divine presence. Thun Da, they call it, the god of the mulberry. It's said to watch over the land, but woe to those who disrespect it. The tree's shade offers relief from the scorching sun, but its shadow hides darker forces. Locals avoid chopping its branches or even picking its leaves without proper rituals, fearing retribution from the unseen world. And the intersection? It's not curved or blind, it's straight as an arrow, with no obstacles to blame for the carnage. Yet, year after year, it claims lives in ways that defy logic. Let's travel back to 1986, a time when Vietnam was still healing from the scars of war, and superstition was as common as rice in the fields. In Bic Nhoi village, a family faced a dire need. They required wood for a coffin. Desperate, they turned to the mulberry tree, begging permission to cut a single branch. The elders warned them, the tree's spirit doesn't forgive easily. But necessity overruled caution. With axes in hand, they severed a limb, crafting it into a somber box for the deceased. What followed was a chain of misfortunes that chilled the village to its core. First, the family's patriarch fell ill, his body racked by unexplained pains. Doctors could find no cause, but whispers spread the spirit was angry. Within months, he passed away, his death shrouded in mystery. Then, tragedy struck again. A son, strong and young, met a fatal accident while working in the fields. The family, now terrified, consulted local shamans. "You've angered the Thun Da," they said. "You must atone." The remaining members performed elaborate rituals, offering incense, fruits, and prayers at the tree's base, but the curse seemed unrelenting. Another relative succumbed to a sudden illness. The village buzzed with fear. Had the mulberry's spirit claimed vengeance? To this day, no one dares touch the tree without a ceremony, and the story serves as a cautionary tale. Nature's guardians demand respect. But the mulberry's mysteries go beyond that fateful branch. Locals swear to stranger phenomena. One night, a farmer, returning home late, saw a pack of dogs emerging from the tree's roots. Not ordinary strays, these canines glowed faintly in the moonlight, their eyes reflecting an otherworldly light. He froze as they circled him silently, then vanished back into the trunk as if swallowed by wood. Was it a hallucination from exhaustion or a manifestation of the spirit's watchdogs? Similar sightings have been reported over the years, ethereal hounds patrolling the intersection, harbingers of doom for those who linger too long. Now, fast forward to the event that sealed the crossroads' deadly reputation. It was a moonless night, the kind where shadows blend with the asphalt, making the straight road feel like a trap. 3 young men full of life and perhaps a bit too much rice wine roared down the highway on a single motorcycle. Laughter echoed as they sped past the mulberry tree, oblivious to its watchful presence. At the intersection, a truck lumbered out from a nearby gas station, its headlights cutting through the dark like knives. In an instant, the world exploded. The motorcycle slammed head-on into the truck's side, the impact a deafening crunch of metal and bone. The three youths were thrown like ragdolls, their bodies crumpling on the pavement. Blood pooled under the mulberry's shadow, and by the time villagers arrived, drawn by the screech of brakes, it was too late. All three were gone, lives snuffed out in a heartbeat. Mrs. Nguyen T. Ang, the tree's caretaker, was among the first on the scene. "It was horrific," she recalled, her voice trembling even years later. "The road was straight, they should have seen the truck, but something pulled them into it." The accident sent shockwaves through the community. Why here, of all places? The road was flat, visibility clear. No alcohol was found in the truck driver's system. Yet the villagers knew the mulberry spirit had struck again. Rumors flew. Perhaps the youths had mocked the tree earlier that evening. Or maybe they were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. The intersection of death moniker stuck, and fear gripped the region. Drivers began avoiding the spot at night, opting for detours rather than risk the straight path's deceptive safety. But this wasn't an isolated incident. The crossroads had claimed victims before and would do so again. In the years leading up to the youth's tragedy, a string of accidents painted the asphalt red. One involved a family van, swerving inexplicably and flipping over, killing 2 passengers. Witnesses swore they saw nothing. No potholes, no animals, just a sudden pull toward the tree. Another saw a cyclist vanish into the night, only to be found mangled the next morning, as if dragged by invisible hands. Injuries were countless. Broken limbs from minor crashes, survivors speaking of cold winds that pushed their vehicles off course. The toll became unbearable. Villagers petitioned for safety measures, traffic lights, speed bumps, but nothing curbed the deaths. Then, in 2013, inspiration struck. A shaman dreamed of the mulberry spirit demanding a shrine. "Build me a home," it said, "and I'll guard the road." The community rallied, constructing a small temple at the tree's base. Incense burned day and night, offerings of fruit and rice piled high. Miraculously, the major accidents dwindled. Minor fender benders persisted, but the deadly crashes, they stopped. Was it coincidence, improved road awareness, or the spirit's appeasement? The villagers didn't question it. They just thanked the Tenda. From a scientific lens, the accidents make sense. High speeds on a straight road breed complacency. The nearby gas station adds cross-traffic risks. Poor lighting and fog exacerbate hazards. Psychologists might call it a curse effect. People, primed by legends, drive nervously, increasing errors. Yet the supernatural angle persists. Why do survivors report icy grips or whispers before crashes? And what of the dogs emerging from the roots? A collective hallucination or something more? As I stand at the intersection today, the mulberry tree looms large, its leaves rustling like secrets shared. The shrine bustles with worshippers, their prayers a barrier against the unknown. But as night falls, the fog creeps in, and I can't help but wonder, is the spirit truly at peace? If you're brave enough to drive through Hai Duong after dark, slow down at the Bich Noi mulberry tree. Listen for the whispers. And remember, some roads are straight, but their dangers twist in ways we can't see. The legend of the Bich Noi mulberry tree endures, a reminder that in Vietnam, the line between the living and the spirit world is thin. Respect the ancient guardians or risk becoming part of their story. As the villagers say, the tree sees all and forgets nothing. What did you think of tonight's chilling tale? Drop a comment below and let Miss Nee know. If you've got a spooky story of your own, don't be shy. Share it in the comments for everyone to enjoy. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay tuned for more eerie tales from Miss Nee. Goodbye, my lovely friends. Huh. Gao gao.